Hi guys, it's Kathleen from Breezy Creation. Sorry about that. Had y'all kind of flipped around the wrong direction. We're going to go live today to finish up the character board that I showed you a picture of. Remember, this is the portrait, the poster that I got from my daughter's thrift store. So you can basically use anything on these character boards. I'm going to give everybody a few minutes to jump in. As you can see, I have most of it completed because the fold that you're going to use on this is one that I've used a couple of times in our lives. So it's okay if we'll just hold off for a minute. Hi Bree, hi Charlene. We're just going to give everybody just a few minutes to jump on. I hope everyone's having a great Veterans Day. It was one of the reasons I held off completing this one. I thought it'd be appropriate to complete this one on Veterans Day. Post it. So I said we're going to use the character board today. If any of y'all have noticed, I'm trying to use some of the Unique in the Creek products. I'm pushing them a little bit right now, not so much pushing them, but Lori from Unique in the Creek, they did start rolling these out in a lot of the Michaels. So I'm using them because I do get a lot of my ribbon from Michaels, Joann's, and Hobby Lobby. This way you can get all of your supplies locally. If you do not have a Michaels that is carrying them currently, you can order these off of uniqueinthecreek.com. We do have an affiliate link on our page. You can click right on those two and order them through the website there. They'll take you straight to their website. I'll show you. We also have, I know I used a poster and cut it down, but these hi Deborah. These are actually made to be used. You can use anything on it. But Lori created all of these images, and I did get mine in. So I'll flip through them. She has hundreds of these images that you can put in the middle of these boards. You make a Grinch. This one definitely fits my family. But these are just the different ones. And this is what I was going to use on this character board. I mean, these are just the Christmas ones that I picked. All of the red trucks that are very popular. But like I said, when I saw this poster in my daughter's shop that she runs, I had to use it. So just in case anybody has never actually used a character board, just to run through, I've already got mine attached. So this is the character board again through Unique in the Creek. It's got all of its holes already pre-drilled all the way around it. And the middle is kind of a rough. It's almost... And that's going to let the decoupage or the Mod Podge that you use. And then you have your pre-drilled hanging holes up here. So all I did was take my decoupage, just to keep y'all up to date of where I'm at. Take my decoupage and I used my paintbrush. And I just painted a thin layer straight onto the board. Really, really thin. Your inserts that she sends you have a line around them. As you can see, with the green one, you can just cut straight around the outside of the green. She's already done all of the measuring for you. So if you follow that line around, it will fit perfectly in the center of your board. So then once you decoupage or Mod Podge that onto your board, then you'll take another thin layer and just go right over the top of it and set it and let it dry. That's what I have already done to this board that we have here. Again, this was just a poster, and I used the general template of what our outline was for this, and I laid it down onto the poster, cut it out, and then I was real careful because it was a little thin in some places, but I just Mod Podged it down, put a thin layer over the top of it, and then I'll seal it when it's all said and done. So all I'm going to do to finish this up really quick for y'all, and as I said, this is the technique that we have done a couple of times. It's just the ruffle effect. But I had a request because they wanted to know, how do you use this board when it has writing or it has images so that it covers the board and yet you completely, but doesn't cover the words. So I found that using this ruffle technique seems to be the best way to do it, as long as you push all of your ruffles to the bottom. So that this would be quick and easy. I didn't want to interfere with anybody's Veteran Day plans. We're gonna get most of the board done and then we'll finish it up real quick here, okay? So what we did is I used a real deep blue, like a midnight blue deco mesh. And I used a poly burlap. This one is really thick. It definitely is going to give you complete coverage. And this one's kind of thin. So when I use the thin mesh at the top, I basically used both holes. And on the ones where this is the one that has the 3 holes, flip it over, how this one has 3 holes already. What I ended up doing was, y'all know how I love my drill. I drilled an extra hole, or you can take it to the outside of the board. But I just wanted to be able to, on the thinner ones, put 2 in, and then when it was down here, I didn't have to. I could actually go 2 and then 1, 2 and 1, and it gave it complete coverage. But I wanted to make sure you couldn't see the board on the top. That's why I did 2 all the way across. So we will just finish it up. Shouldn't take long. I have other things that I have design plans for today. Don't be surprised if I go in and I throw in another surprise live this evening. Hi, Christina. So all we're going to do, these are all cut to 15 inches to get you. So we're just going to do the ruffle. Remember, I always fold down the edge a little bit just to keep it folded under. Gives you that little ruffle. This light's going to get in my way, but you'll understand why I did that here in just a minute. And I alternated mine a little bit. Instead of doing all of the outside and then going straight and doing all of the inside, I found, because like I said, we were trying to do this to where it would figure out a way to cover it, the edges, without covering the boards itself or the words that would be on it. And I found that if you alternated just a little bit of going to bottom to the top, that they end up kind of laying over each other. Look, I've got them all tangled up. I grabbed the wrong one, but it's okay. It's going to be one of them afternoons. It's been happening to me all day. But I found that if you alternate it from the bottom up to the top by the edge, that they laid over each other a little bit. And it helped cover that board and cover where your zip ties or your pipe cleaners are. I did tell her when I sent Christina the message, that I found that especially when you're using the ones that are right up next to the board, that if you use a matching pipe cleaner up here, it tends to make it a little bit easier, especially if you're not going to put any embellishments up next to it. Hi, Jennifer. I cut my mesh. I always cut my mesh using a wood burning tool. This is the wood burning tool. And this is the tip I always put on it, if y'all can see that. I always use a wood burning tool unless it has some type of a cotton fiber or something in it that keeps it from kind of fraying on the edges just a little bit. And then what I did on this front one, what am I calling the bottom? What do you mean, what am I calling the bottom? This down here, this is actually a mesh, and the one down here is a poly burlap. But we're going to come back. If y'all notice, I have lights already put in this, and I put a star that I've attached, and I'll come back to it, but I'm going to end up putting that star lined up perfectly in the blue mesh, but where it would show up on the bottom down there too. So the bottom is going to be your outside ring out here. And that's what I'm talking about alternating. So we're going to take the blue, we're going to go back and do your outside. Fold it under just a touch to hide those edges. Even though I use the wood burner, I still like to tuck them under. Here we go. We're going to go right back to this outside edge again. Your outside holes. Put them into your pipe cleaner or your zip tie, whichever you prefer. You're not going to use those again because I've already added the lights to the inside. And then just kind of fold one kind of up over the other like this, and it gives you that ruffle effect, and it's giving you the fullness and the coverage that you're needing. You debated going live? You should have went live, Bree, when you were doing your ornaments. They would have loved it. I'll probably end up doing another impromptu live later on this evening, just so everybody knows. I bought a couple of things at the Dollar Tree that if my mind, the way I have it figured out, it's going to be pretty cool. I think y'all will enjoy it a lot. Christina, I call the outside edge, this one, the outside edge, I call it the bottom, and this the top. That's just, but you can do outside, inside, whatever you want to do. Now we're going to go back to the one that's closest to your board. I call the top. Zip tie or twist tie it in, whichever one you prefer. You lay that right over your other one. It's just giving you that coverage that you're needing on your board. Covering your outsides. Tuck your light right back in there. I'll do another live. It's really cool. I'm jumping real quick. But I saw this really cute tree. I'm going to get off topic. And it's got the perfect little wire form in there. So I'm going to try to do a couple of folds and wonder if I can make a 3D tree using that same petal I did on my Unique in the Crete tree. But I'll get back to you on that one. Just want to play and see if I can do it. If not, maybe I'll use some chunky yarn or something. But whatever I figure out, I'll do one. I've got a couple. I'll do one to play, and then I'll come live and show y'all what I did. Just trying to do some different things, some more inexpensive projects. We have a craft fair this weekend. I know a lot of y'all have a lot of craft shows coming up, and you don't want all of these high-end wreaths. You want to give them an option. Okay, so we've got our fold. Remember, again, these are cut at 15. We've done our top. We're going to go right back down here to this outside edge. You'll notice when you start getting towards the end, it gets a little bit tougher to put all of these in. If you are using pipe cleaners over the zip ties, make sure you give them a really good tight twist. I usually twist mine about 4 or 5 times just to ensure that they are good and tight in there. I've got a strand. Okay, we'll go right back up here. We only have maybe 6 to go, and this will be complete, and I'll show y'all what it looks like. Again, this is the method that I've been using a lot on the lives lately. So I didn't want to hold y'all up doing an entire wreath doing the same thing, because all you're doing is alternating from your outside edge to your inside edge, your outside to your inside, all the way around the board. Put that right back in here. We're going into the inside. And this is mainly for those boards or those inserts on the character board that have a lot of details to the outside. Like for the one that I cut off earlier, like for this one, I wouldn't have to be so much concerned about alternating back and forth on this one because all the words are right here in the center. But if you get those ones where the words are you have real pretty edges or the words are right down here at the bottom, you don't want to cover those up. I mean, then you lose the whole image of what it's saying. So you want to be a little more careful. Like with this one has words more real close. So if you did that real full and didn't alternate and did like the inside or the outside and then the inside, the petals tend to end up coming over your writing a little bit. So I promised Christina I would figure out a way to help her out. So I played with it and sent her a picture and showed her what I came up with. And I'm hoping this works for her because I know she's having a class. So if any of y'all live in her area, check her out. She's got all kinds of stuff going on. I'm going to do our last two of the blue. Again, 15 inches, just tuck under. Ruffle it right on up the middle, guys. And like I said, this is a really, really thin mesh. I think this is one that I actually got from Joann's. And so it's not one of their better qualities. So thank you. Yeah, all I'm using is 15-inch pieces on this one, on both of them. Like I when at the beginning, what I was telling them is that I made sure I put holes or drilled holes, or you can use the outside edge, whichever. Tuck those lights back in there. But because if it's really thin, you want to make sure you have two pieces all the way across, whether you do it from the holes that are drilled and then use the holes and then the outside edge, whichever. Like I drilled a hole here and then decided I didn't need it. So you could have went these two holes and then to the outside edge. But y'all know I don't ever do that. I like drilling in Lori's board. I just like it to look uniform is my thing. So if I drill the hole, then I can make it look pretty and uniform all the way across. So if anybody turns over the back of the board, it's all uniform like that. I got a stray. Hold on one second. And then we're going into our... Now when you get right over here to the edge, I shared a hole right here. So you have these two blue, but I didn't want my sand or dirt or ground or whatever to start way over here. I wanted it to look like it was the sky was blending in. So I shared a hole with the one I'm using for the tan. Do y'all recognize that? That's from the live the other night. All finished and hanging back there. Thank y'all for all of your input the other evening. Helping me pick out the ribbons to use for it. Last of the blue in here. Twist it. I usually give it, like I said, a good 4 or 5. Hi everybody that's just joining in. We're just finishing up a character board that I started. Okay. Now I don't want these to mesh real quick. Remember I always have my really thick, and I get these from the Dollar Tree too. Can y'all tell I shop there a lot? I'm just going to clip these out of the way for a minute, just so that I can get the other ones added in here. So we're going to start right down here. Now we're moving on to the poly burlap, and this one's really, really thick. Same thing, cut to 15 inches. Fold it. Now if you're using like a poly burlap or a poly jute or any of that on the whole thing, you'll use less. You can watch replay. Oh look, Bree's letting everybody know we're only 50 likes away from that 500 that I posted last week. Remember when we get to 500 likes on our page? we are going to end up giving whatever I am creating at that time that we hit it away. And I got some fun stuff coming. So please, please, please like, share, get that number up. Okay. So we just do the same thing. We're kind of putting on top of each other, and it just kind of rolls into this, and it just covers it all up for us. Any questions on what I'm doing? And Brenda, when you watch the replay, I'm basically using the same technique that I used on the last couple of lives I did with this whole ruffle. So most of the wreath was already completed. I was just explaining what I was using. Okay, we're going to come right back up here again. This is going to be the last one to the outside on the tan. I had never actually worked with this poly burlap before. I got it in a kit or something somebody sent me, and I'm going to tell you, I'm in love with it. My center actually came, it was a poster that I found in my daughter runs a thrift store here in town, and I found it there. But I just wanted to show that you could use anything as a center. You can use a bag. I'm about to use some Dollar Tree bags as a center. You can use a poster that's thick enough. Whatever you have. You just don't want it to be paper thin. You want it to have a little bit of thickness. And then it won't rip when you're doing your Mod Podge or your decoupage onto the board. But say you have your favorite poster, your kids like, I don't know, we're going to say My Little Pony, because I know that Bree likes My Little Pony, and you can't find a My Little Pony insert, go buy a poster. Go to Walmart and buy a poster of My Little Pony. Cut it out to the right size, put it in the center, and create around it. Okay, this is going to be the last one. I know this one's going to be a short live. But it's the same technique that I'm doing all the way around. I didn't change anything. I didn't alter anything. Okay, so this one is going to go right here into this shared hole. Remember, we had the blue right here, and then we're going to put this tan right into that shared hole. We're going to twist it on down into place. I know that these pipe cleaners didn't match, but I also know that these pipe cleaners aren't going to be seen. So I wasn't really worried about it. Now you want this one to kind of mesh right up to this blue one that you have pulled off to the side to give you that look that they are merging. Oh yeah, I outed your My Little Pony obsession. It'll be all right. Everybody knows you like My Little Pony. I lost the lid to my lights, but it'll be okay. It's here somewhere. So, I put the lights in it so it comes all the way across. Real quick, I'm going to just go ahead and add this star into it. And this star is just an ornament. I bet y'all can guess where I got it from. And we're just going to tuck this in here for a second. I've got wire attached to it that I'll end up putting through the outside holes. But for the moment, so that y'all can see it, I'm just going to tuck it through this mesh, give you an idea of what it is that I am talking about. Sorry, it doesn't even want to go through the mesh. gonna give me grief because I want to. Yeah, dollar store. Look, when you've got one right down the road from you and you kind of are an affiliate with them, you tend to shop there a lot. Okay, so some of this mesh come back out. Get it all nice and fluffed up here where it's supposed to be. Line up your star. And there we have it. What do you think? So it still lets you see the entire image. Gets it all nice and lit up. All of your inside edges are covered. And then you add just a little bit of excitement, but it gives you that whole, and then you can see the image with the soldier and baby Jesus right on in there. Any questions of anything that I did? Yeah, the pipe cleaners just because when I'm using any type of a colored mesh like that, especially on a character board, I just think the colored pipe cleaners just kind of take that chance away that those zip ties are going to show right there at the edge. Any other questions? Christina, did this help you though with your class that you're going to have? Did it show you how to lay them out to help kind of cover everything up? I hope it did. And again, if anybody has any questions or any projects that they want us to do, I will gladly help. You just send us a message to Easy Breezy Creations, Dattilo Dazzling Decor, whatever, or me personally. Send us a little PM, and if there's something you want to see, we'll do it. Doesn't have to just be character boards. We'll have to, yeah, you can watch the replay, not a problem. Thank you for stopping in though. I do sincerely appreciate it. But if y'all have any questions whatsoever, please don't hesitate to stop in. I'm going to show a technique. It's going to actually be on a wire form though, so when I do that one, that'll be my next live. Do not share that to the Unique in the Creek page because it'll be on a wire form. He's 17 years old. Oh, he's in the Air Force. Isn't that great? Oh, that's so sad. I'm on this whole military theme. So I did, a military wreath, and I'm about to recreate another one with a military nutcracker. So, and then I did some military angels, and I still need to show y'all how to do the angels too with just mesh, so that you can create some more quick and inexpensive. So, any other questions? Mesh is all cut to 15 inches. And it's just a simple ruffle all the way across. If we don't have any other questions though, I appreciate y'all stopping in today. Don't be surprised if I drop in a little bit later and maybe do another live. I've got all kinds of projects kind of in the works right now, so I appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for stopping in, and have a very, very blessed day. Thank you. Oh, the name of the site, Sheila. It's Dattilo Dazzling Decor / Easy Breezy Creations. It's technically, hey Donna, it's technically everything we do is under Easy Breezy Creations, but we just changed the name, and Facebook decided no. So it's under Dattilo Dazzling Decor on Facebook as our page, and once you get there, you'll see all the Easy Breezy Creations. So I hope that helps. Everything else, our Etsy, our Instagram, our YouTube, all of that is under Easy Breezy Creations. No problem, Brenda. Thank you. Donna, you didn't get to see the finished product. I'm sorry you don't like wireframes, but I promise you, Christina, you can still do it on the Unique in the Creek frame. And what I do with my wireframes, you'd be surprised that it is a wireframe when I'm done. That's what I started out on, so that's how I had to learn how to tweak a couple of things. But they're really full, they're really easy. I use the same techniques that I have here, and on those I usually have really, really big bows. But you can do it on the Unique in the Creek. It's not a problem. You'll just have to use the holes that on the actual character board, I mean on your Unique in the Creek board in order to do it. But I'll have 2. Thank you, Linda. Any other questions? If not, I'm going to jump off and let y'all enjoy your Veterans Day and figure out what to do with these trees. Again, I've got this one, and I found this one, which is kind of like a little 3D tree. So I've got to figure out what to do with these 2, and once I figure out, I will definitely get back to y'all to show y'all a quick, easy, inexpensive craft that you can share with your family or share at a craft show. All right? Thank y'all so much for stopping in. It's been a pleasure. Have a very, very blessed day. Bye, guys.